I'm a big Formula 1 fan. If you followed the channel for a while, you will already know this since I reviewed the Mercedes F1 car about 1.5 years ago. Now, since then, we haven't gotten a single Speed Champions Formula 1 car. There's been several big ones, but I just love the minifig scale cars. So, imagine my excitement when I read of the leaks of a new F1 car releasing this year, the 2023 McLaren Formula 1 car. I think to give some more context as to why I was so excited for this set, I got into F1 in mid-2022. During that time, Speed Champions came out with the Mercedes Formula 1 car, so I knew I had to pick that up. But I still wasn't fully satisfied because my favorite team by far is McLaren. So I bid my time and then was graced by this set. Actually, around June we're supposed to be getting our next car already, that being the Aston Martin, and rest assured I will review that as soon as I can. But I'll stop yapping now and get to the actual set. It depicts the MCL60, McLaren's 2023 car, and it came out less than 2 weeks ago. Obviously they didn't know how this year's car would look when they designed the set, but that's what they always do, same thing on with Mercedes. In total this set comes with 245 pieces, which includes one minifigure of course, and comes at a retail price of $27 or 27 euros. That's the standard price of Speed Champions sets these days, and also like almost every other Speed Champions set, this set only comes with one minifigure that we'll look at now. Now, as per usual, we only get one figure, that being one of the McLaren drivers. The main problem I have with a lot of these F1 sets is that we get these anonymous figures essentially. This makes absolutely sense for any other Speed Champions set, but not really the Formula 1 car, since there's only 2 people driving them usually. So maybe switching to the actual skin tones would be an idea for future F1 sets, but for now we gotta go with this. I have to say, this figure is quite flawed. The body looks very empty, even though the actual suit is covered in sponsors. A lot of these sponsors are also on the car, so I don't know why they weren't able to print those on the suit too. All we have is a little McLaren lettering on this bit of orange that, due to it being printed on grey, looks very different than the helmet. Unlike the orange stripes going down the body though, and there's even some printing on the back. The helmet is bright orange with the generic McLaren logo on top. Since this figure isn't either of the drivers, we don't get the individual helmets, but to be fair, the face isn't too far from either of them. You can take off the helmet, and LEGO provided us with a hairpiece as well, but honestly, it doesn't match either of the drivers. Overall, kind of a disappointing figure, especially in comparison to the 2022 Mercedes minifig, but when it comes to the build, well, let's say this one smashes its predecessor. Now, the build is what most people buy these sets for, and let me just get it out of the way, this build is fantastic. As only the second Speed Champions F1 car in the last 5 years, this trumps the Mercedes one in literally every category. In terms of hard numbers, this set is 19 cm long, 4 cm high, and has a width of 7 cm. Now, I went ahead and actually calculated how big this car would have to be accurate to minifig scale, because, you know, sometimes it can be a bit off, and the results say, yeah, it's quite a bit off, but nonetheless, it doesn't make this set any less beautiful. For example, the overall shape, they got way more accurate with this new model in comparison to the last one. The last one had this really blocky floor, while the new one is shaped perfectly, still keeping the very flat look though. My only big complaint here comes in the front. The front wing looks great, and I have to mention for everyone's discretion, there's a shit ton of stickers in the set. But they help the set massively in achieving an accurate look. Getting back to my issue with the set though, the front wing looks nice, but the nose looks kinda horrible. This is a printed piece, which is great, but it doesn't manage to keep the same papaya color as all the stickered or molded parts. It's much darker and definitely looks off, but at least we have all the sponsors on here. The sides have seen the most improvement from the Mercedes one to this one. The side pods are very recognizable, and they actually use some pretty cool building techniques to get these angles right. We are missing some of the official sponsors like Velo or Views, for obvious reasons, but they fill those gaps with some McLaren stickers, and it honestly works great. I love the way this back area is built, using some genuinely amazing building techniques that make the build look so accurate. The spoiler also got a massive upgrade from the previous one, and the orange color is just so beautiful. Below it we also have the signature backlight with a sticker right above it. The cockpit is probably the area that has seen the least improvement from the 2022 Mercedes, still using a very similar halo design that looks pretty disconnected from the piece in front here. I think they did that better on the last car, but at least we have this clever use of spoons as rearview mirrors. To get the figure into the car you have to open the halo, which reveals a nice steering wheel piece. It's the same video game controller piece as the last time, but now we actually have some printing on it to match its real life counterpart better. Now though, you can simply place the figure in the cockpit and put the halo back down. The last thing I want to talk about before we get to the final verdict are the tires. I love the variety we seem to get over the different sets. Here, these tires are incredibly smooth, unlike with Mercedes, which is fitting. As you can see, these tires have a yellow Pirelli stripe, which indicates them being soft tires. These are a lot smoother, unlike the blue tires from the W12, which were a lot more textured, just like the actual hard tires in F1. It's just the attention to detail I love, and of course the chrome colors inside of the wheels are beautiful as well. But now that we have that out of the way, let's get into the final verdict. I think I've made it clear that I really enjoy the set. It's a massive step up from the last one for sure, and I'm so excited for the future of F1 and LEGO. Now, there are flaws as previously mentioned with this set, like the front, or the minifigure, or the fact that this set, unlike the last one, can't be identified as either driver's car, but the positives are plenty as well, which is why I'll give the set a very solid 85%. A lot of great stuff, with things here and there to improve. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, goodbye.